I just finished Death Stranding, and holy crap, that was a roller coaster of emotions and time. Lots of time wasted playing that game. So I just wanted to just talk about it real quick. Not no real format. I'm just gonna speak from my mind about the game. I'll just preface it with this: it's a good game. Just the gameplay is objectively bad, but the story is objectively good, and I'll explain that throughout the entire piece. Let's talk about the gameplay because that's the thing. It's a game, and to have it suck so badly is kind of embarrassing. I personally enjoyed it. I loved going around giving packages to people and then them asking me to deliver even more packages, and all of that was super fun, super great. But to somebody who doesn't know what they're getting into, and to somebody who might just be buying the game because they were hoping for a really fun gameplay mechanic, it's not there. There's a couple of sections that were pretty cool, a couple of set pieces, like when your character gets transported to another world, which turns into like a war battlefield. Like there's World War One, World War Two, and Vietnam, and I thought those were awesome and fun. But overall, the game is just a walking simulator, like everybody likes to meme it. I don't think that's a problem. I think that's not good for somebody who might be looking to play a fun game. And for Hideo Kojima to just say that we're all, Americans at least, are dumb for liking first-person shooters and shooters only, I think that's an understatement. I think we enjoy fun narratives with good gameplay. I mean, look at The Last of Us. It has pretty decent gameplay and an awesome narrative, just like Death Stranding. But Death Stranding doesn't have any of that. Death Stranding's gameplay is just objectively boring and monotonous. It's just not fun. I like it, but to people that may be picking this up for the first time, it's not fun, especially the first 3 hours where you don't actually get to play the game. You get to watch cutscenes explaining the setup of the story. That is a real killer. There's also the fact that there's just way too much walking. But I think that's alleviated to the fact that you're allowed to connect with other people in the game. And that's like a big staple for the entire game, is this idea of connection. And the fact that if you're online, at least you get to see other players' structures, so whatever other players did throughout the game can help you progress easier in the game. So for me, I set up an entire highway system for the server that I was a part of, and it made everything easier for everyone. You could just get to the point A to point B with a truck or a bike so much faster than when I was originally playing it, where I had to walk across mountains and rocks, and it was just difficult. But now people who might be joining in the game for the first time can build a bike and drive on the highway and make it so much easier for them. And I think it's a really good aspect of the gameplay. It really alleviates the boredom and the shittiness of it, is the fact that you can play with other people's help, because everybody has a set path they went on, and you can follow those paths, and they may be easier for you because there's just stuff there to help you, like climbing anchors, ladders, cars, structures to make sure your packages are cleaned up, or generators to charge up your batteries. It's all just that's probably the best part of the gameplay, is the fact that you get to share things with other people in the game. So let's talk about the story. The story is probably the best, greatest part of this game. If this was a 2.5 hour movie, I would probably love it. And even though most cutscenes were very long, the long intro 3 hour cutscene and the long end, the 2 hour cutscene, I thought those were great. It really ended the game and started the game on a good footing. It gave you knowledge of what the game should be, and it gave you closure to what happens in the game. It may have sped up a little bit at the end because you've been playing for 40 plus hours at this point, and they had to explain some big plot twists in the span of a half hour of gameplay. So that was okay, because it was 5 minutes of somebody stopping you to talk to you to explain story details while you're trying to do something, and it's just really complicated and annoying. It ticked me off a little bit, because I'm driving a car and I'd have to stop because somebody needed to talk to me. Overall, though, the story is really fun. The characters are memorable. I love Mama and Hartman. They are probably my favorite characters. Sam Porter Bridges, the main character, played by Norman Reedus, is awesome. Everyone's awesome. I think it's just great what they did with that. It's just they made the game fun with these awesome stories. And the thing is, though, like, the story doesn't do enough to keep the player engaged because you get it so little throughout the game. Pretty much, like I said, you get a 3-hour cutscene in the beginning and a 2-hour cutscene at the end, and you get sprinklings of exposition and story throughout. Like when you're going to those battlefields for World War I, II, and Vietnam, you get like an understanding of one of the villains, and whenever you load from your private locker, you also like get a little story of the BB of your baby. They like what happened to them before you met them. All of it's really awesome, but like it's so sprinkled out that like you want more and you're grasping for more, but you can't get it, and you only get it at the end, and it's a real struggle because you're already so tired of playing Death Stranding. Like, if it wasn't for Pokemon, I would have beaten this game a little earlier, but Pokemon was just a little more fun for me, and this game just was taking a little too long to finish for me. It just wasn't getting me anymore. I was just trying to grind through the end game content to get to the end. Overall, though, the game was good. I loved it. I think it's probably one of the best games of the year for me. I am willing to replay it again, to do other things, maybe try to not use a bike or a vehicle, see how that would work, or maybe improve infrastructures, putting more down. I don't know. I mean, for me, it's a game that I would replay a lot. Like, probably going to do it over winter break when I get out of college. But, like, for somebody, like, say my roommate or whatever, it's not for them because the gameplay is really boring. The story is fairly good, but it's not enough to keep the player staying as much as Kojima would like it. And that's a real bummer because you're paying $60 for this game, and only half of that money is being dedicated towards story, while the other half is dedicated to like mediocre to pretty garbage gameplay. But like I said, overall, I think it's a fun game. If you're looking for a recommendation, I'm not the best. I've loved Kojima games for a long time, so I'll always be I'm biased towards Kojima. But if you're looking for a fun game, you're not going to get it here. If you're looking for a fun story, you will. But it's up to you. I can't really tell you whether or not to buy this game. I think it's fun, but I don't think it's for everybody. All right. Thanks for watching. Click the bell to get notified, and subscribe for more.